Now we will see how relationships are managed in CRM. So we will understand how module relationships are and how to manage them. So relationship is basically how we relate the two master transaction tables with each other. It is called a relationship. First of all, let's understand why a relationship is required. So that is because generally this is a concept of database normalization. If we have some information available as a master, if I want to use that same information everywhere, or there are some related modules where I can find that same information in future. So rather than having that information in each and every module, it is better that I use it through the master table which is available to me. That is why this relationship concept is deployed. Another benefit of a relationship is we can group the information available to us and maintain it accordingly, as and when required. We can fetch that information by linking to that group. Going ahead, I will give you some examples that will make you understand this concept even better. But for now, what you need to understand is if I have any information available, which is going to be common and can be used in multiple different ways, like I have account information. So I have to link the account to opportunities, tickets, products, and there can be many other modules where account information will be the key factor for me. So, to link account information with these modules, it is not required that I recreate my account details every time in each module. There will be a lot of redundancy in this, and it is not recommended because you will have to create those fields in each and every module every time. Rather than that, it is beneficial that I keep all that information intact in the account itself. Whenever I need it on any module, I will use it there as a reference. So, that is why this concept of relationships. I just gave you an example of accounts. Managing organization details in account module, which can link to a contact module, which has contact details. Meaning, if I have an account and a contact module available to me, now account information can be like NJ IT Solutions is an organization. So the name of the organization, that is NJ IT Solutions, the contact details of the organization, website of the organization, its address, all these details will be available to me which are organization specific. In the same way, we have contact details information, contact related information in the contact module. For example, contact name, its contact details, its designation, its organization, or its hierarchy, all department. All these are contact specific details. Now, if I want to link or I want to see how many people I communicate with in NJ IT Solutions company, with whom I have business related communication. So, to see this, I will need to have all the contact related to my accounts. And to get that information, there will be a relationship of account module and contact module created in CRM. From there, I can retrieve this information. If this relationship would not have been there, then whatever details related to the account are there, like account name, address, PAN number, GST, or whatever other details that you are managing at your account level, I could have added all this information in contact modules as fields. If we would have done this, what would have been its disadvantage? Or how would it impact you in the long run? Let us discuss that. Let's say I provide this information on contact module. Now, this contact specific information is needed on lead module apart from the contact. I will also require it on the ticket module and I will require it on an opportunity as well. Because account details are a part of my master. This information is the key information for me through which my entire business is running. So, if I'm not managing a module and just add this information wherever required, what would be its impact? Whenever my account information changes every now and then, wherever I have created those fields, I will have to go everywhere and update them. And if by mistake I forget to change them somewhere, then your entire data on the CRM is not trustable. Because you will not get that data properly from anywhere in CRM, and you cannot rely on that database for your business. That is why what we did was we created the account module. In the account module, all the account specific information is available. We have given relationships to those modules wherever required. Just like we talked about the contact module, ticket module, and opportunity module. With all of these modules, the relationship of the account module is available. So, my master data of account module, like the name of the account, the website of the account, its PAN details or address, all this information will remain intact in the same module. Whenever I want to use this information, I can create references, which we call relationships, and I can link them with other modules. That is how this entire relationship concept is working. Now, this master transaction concept is not old fashioned. As I explained to you, let's say that I have made master details available everywhere and they are using their own references. Our master is constant in one place where we have entered our account information. I have already stored it somewhere. Now, whenever and in whichever module it is needed, we create references. We call them relationship, and through that we use them. In CRM, by default, wherever it is required, we have already provided all those relationships which are required. For example, what kind of relationship should the account module have with the contact module? What should be the relationship between account module and ticket module? What kind of relationship be there with the opportunities? What kind of relationship should be there with leads? Other than that, as and when required, you can incorporate new relationships. But in the later stage, we will see what you should do and should not do when it comes to managing a relationship. First, let us understand how does this one-to-many relationship works. So as the name suggests, whenever we talk about relationships, that involves more than one module. So, when we are talking about one to many, then here I have a module in which a reference is being used, and I have another module where multiple references are being used. So, that means I have one module where only one reference is being created, meaning only one reference is being used. And the module on the menu part has multiple references which are being used with this one module. This is the basic concept of one to many. Let us first see some examples which can make you understand this concept even more better. The standard example is of account and contact. We discussed a while ago that we have an account related information which is being managed in the account module. And account is an information where it remains the same for a specific client or for a specific KYC. I may have multiple contact details related to that one account. It will never happen in CRM or in a business process, or let's leave CRM for a while. In a business process, it will never happen that you are coordinating with only one person from an organization or from a business. You talk to multiple different people of the same organization, do business with different people, and coordinate with them as per your need. Sometimes you will coordinate with finance team, sometimes with sales team, sometimes with a support team, sometimes with a technical team. So there are multiple departments which each and every organization has. We need to interact with them some or the other time. And our team manages them as KYC in our CRM. The relationship between account and contact will always be one to many. Means I have an account available and related to that one account, I have multiple different contacts that are available in my CRM. Another example is contact and opportunity. I have a contact available that belongs to an organization. Let's say NJ is my organization. My name is Bhumi. So I have contact available by my name. Right now, the customer who is doing business with me in his CRM, corresponding to my contact, there will be multiple different opportunities. The number of times I coordinated with them regarding my business requirements or the number of times I did business with them, whether it happened or it did not happen, but an opportunity regarding that was created in the CRM, then I will have this opportunity relationships with my contact in their CRM. The requirements which I presented to them, and if those are qualified, they must have created an opportunity for that. After the business was successful, those opportunities will be placed in the closed ones. Others may be in process or may be dead. So, similarly, an opportunity available to me can be multiple but related to one contact because the same contact might have approached us multiple times with their requirements or they might have done business with us multiple times. then that kind of a relationship is also one to many. That is why contact and opportunity have a one to many relationship in the CRM. Now, related to a contact and opportunity, there is one more way you can look at this relationship. I told you a concept where we explored one to many relationship of contact and opportunity. Similarly, in some organizations, the decision making party or the business people who are talking to us about that opportunity, there are more than one person involved. In such cases, it is a possibility that our relationship of contact and opportunity can be many to many, meaning multiple members from an organization are coordinating for an opportunity in the CRM. Likewise, there are that same set of people or another set of people belonging to the same organization could be coordinating with us for a different opportunity. That is why it can also be many to many. We will discuss as part of the contact opportunity relationship at a later stage. Next, we have is account and opportunity as an example. Just like we talked about contact, in the same way, when I receive a new business requirement which is already qualified, we can create it as an opportunity in CRM. Now, this opportunity at a time can only be linked with one account because the people who are going to give me business, that account will remain the same no matter what. The different organizations are all those different accounts with whom we create an opportunity or those with whom we do the business. That each and every opportunity will be different. Similarly, from one organization, it is possible that I can have multiple opportunities. I may have done business multiple times with the same organization or may have received many business proposals. So that is where this one to many relationship for account and opportunity can come into the picture. Organization details, KYC, etc. will remain intact. So I have a reference available for that organization. The same reference, let's say NJ. They have approached me multiple times for different requirements that they have. So I will have different opportunities related to them in my CRM. So one organization has approached for multiple business proposals or multiple business requirements. So multiple opportunities are available, and that is how an account and an opportunity will always have a one to many relationship. You can have multiple opportunities with an account. Next example we have is opportunity and quotation. Suppose we have created an opportunity in CRM for a requirement of a customer. Now, related to this opportunity, let's say they asked me for a proposal, they asked me for a quotation. So I submitted a quotation. Now, after a while, post discussion with them, some of their requirements changed. Opportunity is still the same. For example, in that opportunity, they changed the products or they negotiated and made some other changes. Now, in this case, it is possible that I will have to cancel the previous quote that I sent and send a new quote. Or, if required, I need to do some revisions in my existing quotation. What is happening in both these cases? The opportunity which I received from the customer is the same, but the proposals my team received related to that opportunity are multiple. So, now there are multiple proposals corresponding to the single opportunity we have in the system. That is why opportunity and quotation is also one to many because there can be times where we have sent quotations to the customer related to an opportunity multiple times, regardless of the fact that that opportunity will remain the same. But post discussion with the client over a period, there can be couple of changes in the requirement that they have requested and we need to incorporate them. That is why there can be multiple quotations. Another example we have is account and quotation. We just talked about opportunity. In the same manner, I may have sent multiple quotations related to one account to a customer. Because if I have multiple opportunities related to one account, consider that for every opportunity I have sent one quotation to the customer. Because account related opportunities will be multiple, their quotations will also be multiple. So that is how account will also be linked with the multiple quotations. Here, if there is no opportunity module, meaning if some customers are not using an opportunity module, they are directly creating a quotation. In that case, they would have created multiple quotations against each of the organization, as and when a requirement has been placed by the client. Whenever They would have sent a quotation to an organization, whichever account they have linked to, there will be a reference to each quotation. So that is how account and quotation will also have a one to many relationship. So these are some of the examples related to one to many relationship that we saw. Now, one to many is a standard for a typical kind of a relationship which you can see anywhere. All the examples that I mentioned, each and every example will generally have one to many as a relationship. Account and contact will also have one to many. There may be multiple quotations related to one opportunity. There can be multiple quotations related to one account. So, all these examples that I mentioned signify that in most of the cases, the relationship which you will find in CRM will be like this, which is your master module. It could be an account, it could be contact. Relationship of master module will always be one to one with your transaction module. Transaction module could be a lead, it could be an opportunity, it could be a ticket, it could be a quotation, it could be a contact, it could be anything. But the transactions, the reference of the account or KYC or the master modules, these will always have one to many as the typical relationship. And that is how it will follow. Now, we will see this concept of one to many in detail afterwards. I will explain it in detail when I show it to you on screen. But let me just show you how the relationship managed in CRM looks like. So, generally, in a one to many relationship, whenever we are going to use our single reference, our one reference that means the master, the relation of transaction with masters is of many. So, I will get a sub panel below that master reference available in the CRM. I can see those multiple references there. For example, if I want to see the relationship between account and contact in CRM, how will it look? I will have an account, let's say NJ IT Solutions. There will be a sub panel of contact related to NJ IT Solutions. I will be able to see all the contact details related to this account. Similarly, let's talk about account and quotation. So the account is NJ IT Solutions again. I will also have a sub panel of quotations against NJ IT Solutions. There I will get increase in quotation as per how many times I prepared quotations and send them to the customer. Similarly, there will be a sub panel for opportunities, leads and tickets and for any of the transaction modules that are linked with your master module. This was all about many and how it will behave with one reference. Now let's look at it in reverse order. We saw the relationship of contact with account. Now let us understand that when I am putting in the contact, the reference of that contact will remain single with the account. Meaning, there is a person who belongs to an organization. So at a time, they will be in just one organization, correct? So that is how this contact module will have a field which we saw in the last section in fields and properties. We saw different types of fields. In the studio, you will find relate type of field in your field type. There you will find the reference of one in your module. For example, if I go to my studio, there I go to this contact module. In the contact module, I will find the account field as a field type. Here, I can use it, and by putting it on layouts, I can see how it works. We will see this in a demo at a later stage. But for now, I hope this is clear. In a one to many relationship, one's reference is displayed in many fields. Reference of many appear as a sub panel below the one module. Next, let's see many to many relationships. In the one to many reference that we saw in master module, one reference was in use with many references from multiple modules. We also saw some examples of it. Next, we have is many to many relationship where the modules I have at both the ends are linked with each other in multiple ways. Meaning, the reference here has multiple relationships with this module as well. And the module here has multiple relationships with this site module. So that is how this many to many concept works. Let's see some examples of this that will make you understand this concept even better. The first is of opportunity and contact. We discussed in the earlier section that contact and opportunity can also have one to many relationship. That cannot be an ideal scenario because most of the times it happens that if you are communicating or dealing with any organization for an opportunity, there can be multiple members who are involved in the decision making, who are coordinating with you related to that opportunity. So in this case, ideal scenario for opportunity and contact module is many to many. The reason for this is that I can have multiple opportunities related to one account. We understood this in a great detail. So related to multiple opportunities for an opportunity, if I have multiple members who are communicating with me from that organization, in the same way there are multiple opportunities. Let's say for every opportunity, I have some members coordinating with me. There can be few instances where only one member may be coordinating. But in any ideal scenario, there can be opportunities where multiple members are coordinating. So in this case, one opportunity will have multiple references linked with different contacts in that opportunity module. And one contact is also linked with multiple different opportunities. So this concept is an ideal example of many to many. Another example is of product and contract. In CRM, we have product module. We mention or manage all of the information related to the product which we have sold to the customer. So I have set a module where the details of the organization are being managed. Related to that organization, I have a module where I have the information of all the products which I have sold to that organization. Let's say I have provided CRM Synapse, Sampark Setu, and Sugam Tally to NJIT Solutions. These four products which I sold to NJIT Solutions. There will be four entries in the CRM for these four products. Now, according to their contract, it may happen that there are two products I gave to that customer. Let's say I made a deal with a customer for both CRM and Synapse. I did it together. In this case, renewal for both of these will also be together. That means I will have a single contract which is corresponding to these two products. When our contract is made, these two products will be linked in relation with the contract. Looking at this, it seems that the contract and the product may have many to one through the product, meaning contract to product is a one to many relationship. It looks like that, but it is not the case because whenever we sell any service or software to someone, there is a cycle of renewal which keeps following. Until and unless that customer does not want to continue, if that customer is doing recurring business with us, I will have many contracts in my CRM and related to each and every product reference will also appear which were provided by me and which have their renewal in process. So that means if there is one product, then its entry will remain the same. But corresponding to that product, there can be multiple contracts that will be continued until the renewals are done. Similarly, there can be multiple products in a single contract. I gave the example that I contacted NJ IT Solutions. I had taken two different products from them in the deal, CRM and Synapse. So this is how contract and product relationship is a many to many concept. Related to a product, according to their multiple renewals, there can be multiple contracts and corresponding to each contract, there is a possibility that the products whose renewals are due together, those are linked in the same contact. So product and contract have one to many and contract and product also have one to many. That is how this combines and makes it a many to many concept because both of these have references of multiple different records with each other. The next example we have is project and opportunity. Now, it can be the case that you might be using or might not be using the project in your CRM, but it is a module where if you have your own development team or if you are managing different projects in your company, so corresponding to each and every project, there can be a different project available in your CRM from where you can manage all that product related resources, their details, etc. So this project can be linked with opportunity in many to many relationship. Let's see how this will be processed. Let's take our own in house example. Like NJ manages projects, let's understand this a little bit in order to make it easier for us to understand this relationship. Opportunity means every time I receive a requirement from a customer, we create them as opportunities. Now, after closing opportunity in CRM, I have to manage which project is related to this opportunity. Let's say I have sold CRM to NJIT Solutions. When I provided CRM to NJIT Solutions, then this CRM project has its own set of projects, tasks, or milestones that I need to maintain in my CRM along with their responsible owners who will complete that project. In order to manage those project details, a project module is available. It may happen that the given opportunity can have multiple projects related to that opportunity. In CRM, if I have given two different products in the same opportunity, for example, CRM and Synapse, in CRM, two different types of projects are created to manage the project details of CRM and to manage the project details of Synapse and to manage the project details of Synapse. In the project report of CRM, it may happen that I have created one opportunity related to that opportunity in the CRM. Now, related to that project, the customer requires or demands some new inputs, or they have some new requirement for which we created a new opportunity because the old opportunity was already closed. So, a new opportunity has been created during the implementation of the new requirements that have come forward. Now, this opportunity will also be linked with the same project because that project is ongoing. In this case, the reference of opportunity that we have with the project is one to many, and same project is also getting linked with multiple opportunities in case there are multiple different requirements that are coming in from the customer during its tenure. This is our example of a many to many relationship where one project can be linked with multiple opportunities, and there can be multiple opportunities, multiple projects related to the same opportunity as per the product that we have sold in an opportunity. How will this visibility of many to many be managed? Just like we understood the one to one relationship, let's understand this as well. In one to many, there was a sub panel of many modules below the one module and the main reference. Now, what will happen in this case? Both are many. Wherever many modules appear, you have to understand that it will be many, meaning a sub panel will be created because those are multiple references which I will have to keep watch on. So, the relationship between an opportunity and contact that we saw once an opportunity is created, I will have a sub-panel of contacts related to that opportunity. In that, all contact references whom I talk to in that organization related to this opportunity will be linked. Similarly, when I go to the contact module and open it, I will get all these I will get all those opportunity details under the contact with whom I coordinated on opportunities or all those opportunities which were generated through this contact. So, this is how this many to many concept will look like in CRM. We will also see the demo at a later stage. Next, we have is a one to one relationship. Now, before we start, I want to tell you that in ideal scenarios, it will never happen that you will be able to see a one to one relationship in CRM. The reason for this is that where one to one relation is required, meaning a reference of one module is going to be used only once in another module, we can use that by creating a relate field. That is why one to one relationship is not very common in any of the CRM. And that is why you will not generally see one to one relationships in any CRM. Then why is it given? Let's try to understand that once. One to one relationships are ideally used only when the number of fields or inputs that I am providing are way too much for the user in a module. In order to manage it all properly in one module, I need some kind of classification which makes it easier for my team, such that to view a specific set of information, they would access this module, and to view another set of a specific information, they would access some other module. And that is why this one to one concept for relationships can be used. As mentioned here, only use it when you have too many fields in one module, but you want to organize those fields in two different modules. Let us see some examples for these. Now, before we go to the example, I just want to clarify that this example, it is again not an ideal example and it may or may not be relevant to you. So, in most of the cases, if it is not required, do not go ahead and create any relationships that are one to one until and unless it is required, because you have an option to create a field and use it. We have seen this already in section 3.1. So, choose wisely when you might actually need a one to one relationship. An example which is mentioned here is a person and their marks in graduation, meaning I have a module where I'm managing all the information of a contact detail. Another module I have is where I have to manage their graduation degree. How many subjects were there in that specific graduation specialization? How many marks did they obtain in each subject? Or what their grade? I can manage this information in the same module. And it is possible. But if it is not ideal for you to manage both this information in one place, if you want to manage it in a more classified way, then you can go ahead and have another module just for managing their graduation degree or their marks, and then you can relate both of these modules through a one to one relationship, wherein the contact module or the person module is linking to a single reference in your graduation module. Another example corresponding to one relationship is student ID and its contact details. Just like we saw in the above example, this is linked with the same example. Student specific information like their BAT, their graduation year, their college, etc. All this information is specific to their academics. To separate this academic information from contact details, it is possible that I give you another module where those academic details are being managed. And then that contact is linked to the academic module through a one to one reference. There all the academics against a contact related to their graduation can be managed. So, this is all about relationships in CRM. We have seen how one to one relationship is managed, how many to many is managed, or one to many relationships is managed. Now, let us see some exceptions or alternative ideas. Here, we will be able to understand the alternatives for one to many and many to many relationships. First, let us see an example of the account and contact module. The ideal relationship between account and contact that we described was one to many. This means there is a reference to one account which reference to the contact module in multiple different ways is possible. Like NJ IT Solutions is my account and it has different contact details available corresponding to each and every member with whom I am coordinating in NJ. So for me, the one to many relationship of account and contact for these accounts is an ideal scenario. Now, what could be the exceptions or alternative ideas in this? Let's see. Some customers follow many to many relationships for account and contact information. When will this information be required? Let's say I had one contact who was associated with NJ, and later on, that person changed the company and they went to another company. But I want to manage what businesses they did with me through NJ when they were with NJ. And when he went to another company, then through that company, what business did we do? In this case, for the relationship of this contact and their account module, I require their past organization as well as their present organization. If I follow one to many, then whenever their organization will change, it will override the account module. So I won't be able to get for which organization he worked in the past and what business did we finish through that organization with them. But if I want to manage those details, then I will have to have a different relationship of account and contact, which will play a role of many to many. This means this one contact will be linked with multiple organizations so that at any time I will have to see what kind of behavior this contact has with this account or how they're playing a role with us. I can identify that and I can identify my association through that relationship. So, that is an exception or an alternative corresponding to the account or contact module. Another exception alternative is for opportunity and contacts, which we have already discussed in quite a detail. where there can be one to many behavior of an opportunity and contact, or there can also be many to many behavior. The ideal behavior will be many to many, which means that the number of people from that organization who are dealing with me related to that opportunity can be more than one, and similarly, related to one contact, it is a possibility that it brings me multiple different opportunities. So he is coordinating with multiple opportunities. So this is an ideal behavior for opportunity and contact module. But when we were exploring one to many relationships, we saw the relationship of contact and opportunity module as an example. This relationship is an alternative where only one person is coordinating for an opportunity. This scenario will not be seen in general because wherever business is involved, it is a possibility that there is more than one person involved in the decision making, and in that opportunity, I will have multiple contact details of that client stack. But in some organizations, it can be a case that there are people dedicated to the sales process. They set up this entire business as and when required for those dedicated accounts. In such cases, whenever there is any relationship between opportunity and contact, it will perform the role of one to many. Even when there are multiple opportunities corresponding to one opportunity, there is only a single contact who is coordinating with our team for the business. So, these are some exceptions which we have explored. Next, we are moving forward to practical tips and best practices which we want to share with you through our experiences. Whenever you are handling relationships or dealing with them in CRM, what are the things you should keep in mind, or what is the best practice that you should follow? First, always check your existing relationships before you go ahead and create a new one. We have seen many a times that customers create a new relationship when required and use it. There is no problem in doing this. You have the control. You can make as many relationships as you want. But the more relationships you make, or if you don't understand this concept, the more difficult it will become for you to manage your database in the long run. Because you are creating multiple references to the same database. And as and when required, your team is using those references to link it with their KYCs without even realizing it. Because of this, your entire business process will get spoiled. So, always make sure whenever you're going to incorporate a new relationship, for example, the account and contact relationship that we saw is already available as default in the CRM. But without checking if you are going to create another relationship, then it will be difficult for the users to identify that when I get the sub panel of many, then I will see two or three different sub panels of the same module. Because you have that many relationships, user won't understand when to use which sub panel or what identification am I getting for that specific relationship, and it could complicate your business process. That is why it is recommended that you create a relationship only if you cannot find a similar relationship already existing in the CRM or from where your data is not getting managed. Another best practice is always do your homework and identify the need. We saw an example of one to one module. It is not required that you can use one to one relationship with any module in CRM because we have the field structures available from where you can create a field at module level and use its reference. So always make sure what better alternative do you have and what is the need, whether that relationship is actually required. Think about all the processes, parameters in the long run. You walk with your thought, and if you see that it can actually help your business in the long run, then only go ahead and create it. Otherwise, try to manage it with whatever is provided already because we have tried this. Whatever is required to manage the business processes, we are providing those by default in CRM. Be it the fields that you require, the kind of properties that you require, or the relationships that are required. Wherever it is not required, please do not go ahead and create any new relationships or fields because it is not recommended. Last but not the least, never delete any relationships in your CRM at any point of time. The reason for this is When you delete something in CRM, then those actions cannot be undone. You cannot retrieve what you have already deleted. This is from the technical point of view. But if I tell you it's business impact, then that is much worse because all the references that your team has linked will also be deleted, because of which you will never know in the future what those old references with which these were linked. So, it is not recommended that you delete any relationship in CRM. If it is required, you have created a new relationship and you do not require the old one, you can just rename that relationship so that you and the user can identify that this relationship is not to be used right now. No references or links are to be mentioned here, and they have to use the new relationship.